Hi, everybody. This is Professor Bowen-Moore. I'm going to show you just a few of the capabilities of the tools in InDesign. This should help you get oriented. Hopefully, you're playing with these programs on your own just to get comfortable with some of these, with the interface and some of the tools yourself. But I just wanted to show you some individual tools and kind of what they're capable of. I'm just kind of going to give you a basic synopsis of this. We could go really deep into it. But this video is on the selection tools. So you have two selection tools. I'm going to move my toolbar out here. By the way, you have three views of your toolbar. You have a double column. If you click the little double arrows up here, it'll change your view. So I've got a double column, I've got a single column, and I can make them horizontal view if I would like. And the little dashed bar at the top of the toolbox, that allows you to move it around. So if I want to move it back into the border, I can click and drag over. And when I see the blue, I can release and it's back into my border there. But I'm just going to bring it closer so you can see clearly. So I have two selection tools. I have a regular selection tool and I have a direct selection tool. And so they both have their own purpose. The direct selection tool is going to allow me to do a lot more intricate manipulation of shapes and things and text boxes than the selection tool. So if I have a shape, for instance, I'm just going to make something kind of simple here. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill this with the color, just a random swatch color here. And my shortcut is V too. So what I just did there is I kind of went off and clicked V and it went back to my selection tool after I created my shape. And when I create a shape, which I will show you in another video how the shape tool works with color and fill and stroke and all of that. The fill box is going to be above the stroke. The stroke means outline. So stroke is what we call an outline in graphic design. So I'm just going to put it on none so we don't have an outline around this. So with the regular selection tool, I can move this, click and move it around. I can click on the anchor points, which are these little squares around the bounding box. I can, scale it. If I want to scale proportionally with the shape that I've created, I would hold the Command Shift keys down and it would scale that proportionally. So that's a good shortcut to use for scaling images or anything that you want to stay proportional in dimension with the length and width. And I can also rotate. If I just hover over a corner, you can see my cursor changes to a little curved arrow line. So that allows me to rotate the object and it'll tell you how many degrees that it's rotating and such. If it doesn't go right on a number, sometimes you have to zoom in and it'll get more precise. And you also have your transformation tools, the icons on your control panel up here, like rotating, flipping horizontal and vertical. They're also up in your top menu under object, and you have transformation there where you can rotate and flip and whatever with your object. So that's basically what the selection tool does. The direct select tool allows us a little bit more control over individual corners and things like that. And there's different reasons that you would use a direct select tool. But initially, the key to using the direct select tool is, and you can see when I switch over to the direct select tool, my anchor points are smaller. They're filled with blue. They're kind of a solid color. And the key to using the direct select tool, if I wanted to move this corner, I would have to click off the object and then hover back over this corner. So now you can see when I hover back over, it's the corner anchor points are hollow. That's an indicator that I can now click on this corner and move it individually. So if I want to create a certain angle, or if I want to manipulate a shape in a more untraditional manner, I can use the direct select tool to manipulate different corners. Like if I wanted to angle this slightly, I could do that. When you hover over a side, you're going to see a little back or a slash next to your cursor. That allows me to also move the sides around. So if you're wanting to create a more obtuse angle or a more acute angle, whatever you want to do there, you can move the sides as well. So the direct select tool gives you a few more options in that regard. And it works the same way on the type tool. So let's say I was putting type next to this object. And I'm just going to fill this with placeholder type, which is just Latin gibberish. I could go back to my direct select tool, click off the object, click back on the corner that I want to move there. And let's say I wanted to angle this type and follow the contour of that shape next to it. So this allows you to do things like that. Anytime you have certain creative visions, you have, more options with that direct select tool, depending on what that vision is.